Paul Gascoigne. What do we all think of him, guys? I mean, I've seen him a few times. I've met him, and honestly speaking, I've got different thought processes on him. As a footballer, I have to tell you now, he, in my opinion, is the best English footballer I've ever seen play, and I really believe that. We can talk about the Bobby Moores and the Jimmy Greaves of the world. I'm talking about in my lifetime as well, and he was just brilliant. He had everything. He seriously skilled. I watched him, virtually every week when he was playing for Lazio. I just don't think I've seen a player that brilliant. Honestly, an English player that brilliant. He was unbelievably good. For Spurs, he was extremely good. I still can't forget that goal he scored in the semi-final against Seaman. And he liked to laugh, he liked to have a joke, etc. As a player, incredible. I've met him a few times, a couple of times not with him, in a restaurant once where he was celebrating his mum's birthday with Paul Stewart and Paul Shaw. Linda Lusardi, Page 3 girl, was there with her husband. Paul Shaw was there with his girlfriend, and Paul Stewart there with a Page 3 girl. And I'll be quite honest with you, I was there on business, a real posh Chinese restaurant, and the behaviour patterns were awful. I mean, instead of us calling a waiter over a drink, they'd say the C word loudly. Oi! To call a waiter over for a drink. I mean, Gascoigne wasn't the guy. I mean, he sat there, the calmest and quietest of all. They stripped off half naked, dancing around this restaurant, dancing close to each other. They put cream on the girls' faces with their mouths. It was appalling, the behaviour. And, I've seen Gascoigne only a couple of 2-3 years ago in a Premier Inn near Southampton, where he was taken off I think he was going onto an airline, flying overseas. And my understanding is, because he was so inebriated, they had to ask him to leave, and they put him in a Premier Inn, which just happened to be there. So he still hadn't got over his drinking problems even 3-4 years ago. I hope he has now. I don't know whether to feel sympathy for him, to think he's a fool. He's lost so much money, just thrown it away. My overall, I've met him a couple of times as well, other than that. So, and he's always been a decent bloke. I think, honestly, I feel a bit sorry for him in many ways. I think he just wanted to, he was the centre of attraction, and he wanted to make everybody laugh. He was a joker. And I don't think he knew where the barriers were. And I think he was a bit lonely. These are my feelings from what you see of him, you hear of him. At the times, I've seen him, his behaviour patterns in certain places, and met him. I think actually he's got a heart of gold personally, and I just feel in his need to be wanted, to be liked, and to be centre of attraction and be a joker. I think and the money obviously just got too much for him, and people led him astray as well. That's my overall thinking of him, even though I've seen him behave quite badly at times. But I think the guy, I feel sympathy towards him, I'll be honest. But he was a great footballer. Football Chat Uncensored, Reno talking.